Have you ever heard of a love story so powerful it rewrote the gods? No, this isn't a fantasy novel. It's the real, epic tale of Nefertiti and Akhenaten, the couple who turned ancient Egypt completely upside down. Forget what you think you know about pharaohs and pyramids, because this story is about passion, power, and a revolution that changed everything. Our story begins around 1353 BCE. A new pharaoh, Amenhotep IV, ascends the throne. But he wasn't just any pharaoh. He was a visionary, a radical thinker. And by his side was a woman of captivating beauty and intellect, whose name meant the beautiful one has come, Nefertiti. From the very beginning, their partnership was different. In a world where pharaohs had multiple wives, Akhenaten had eyes only for Nefertiti. She wasn't just a queen. She was his co-ruler, his equal. Just look at the art from their time. It's a complete departure from the stiff, formal styles of the past. For the first time, we see a pharaoh and queen portrayed with genuine intimacy. We see them kissing, holding hands, and playing with their 6 daughters. These weren't just monarchs. They were a family, and they wanted everyone to know it. In one famous carving, we see them basking in the rays of a sun disk, with little hands at the end of each ray, gently touching them. This wasn't just a pretty picture. It was a theological statement. Because this is where the revolution truly ignites. Amenhotep IV and Nefertiti made a decision that would shake the foundations of their civilization. They decided to abandon the entire pantheon of Egyptian gods, Amun-Ra, Osiris, Isis, all of them, gods that had been worshipped for over 1,000 years. In their place, they elevated a single universal deity, the Aten, represented by the disk of the sun. It was the source of all life, a god for all people, not just Egyptians. To mark this monumental shift, the pharaoh changed his own name from Amenhotep, which honored the god Amen, to Akhenaten, meaning effective for the Aten. This was more than just a religious change. It was a total cultural reset. The powerful priesthood of Amun-Ra, who had amassed immense wealth and influence, was suddenly stripped of their power. Their temples were closed, and their revenues were diverted to the new cult of the Aten. You can imagine how well that went over to escape the old power structures and build their new world from scratch. Akhenaten and Nefertiti did something unprecedented. They abandoned Thebes, the traditional capital, and built a brand new city in the middle of the desert. They called it Aten, the horizon of the Aten, known today as Amat. This city was built at breathtaking speed. It was a utopian vision, dedicated entirely to the worship of the Aten. Here, Nefertiti's role grew even more prominent. She wasn't just the king's wife, she was a high priestess. Inscriptions and reliefs show her leading religious ceremonies, sometimes even on her own, a level of authority unheard of for a queen. She was seen as the feminine aspect of the divine, the crucial link between the Aten and humanity, alongside her husband. Together, they were the sole mediators to their god. Ordinary people couldn't pray to the Aten directly. They had to pray to Akhenaten and Nefertiti. The art of Amarna continued to flourish in its unique, naturalistic style. The royal family was depicted with elongated skulls, slender necks, and rounded bellies. Some scholars think this was a new artistic convention to show their otherworldly connection to the Aten, while others suggest it might reflect a real genetic trait. Whatever the reason, it set them apart, marking them as different, as divine intermediaries. For about a decade, their new world thrived in this isolated desert city. It was a golden age of love, art, and radical theology. But revolutions often have consequences. While Akhenaten and Nefertiti were focused on their new religion, the wider Egyptian empire may have been neglected. There's evidence that foreign territories were in turmoil and that the domestic economy, once reliant on the old temple system, was struggling. And then tragedy struck the royal family. One of their beloved daughters, Nefertiti, died. Reliefs from her tomb show Akhenaten and Nefertiti overcome with a raw, public display of grief, another unprecedented moment in royal history. This personal tragedy seemed to mark a turning point. Around the 12th year of Akhenaten's reign, something mysterious happens. Nefertiti, who had been so visible, so powerful, suddenly vanishes from all official records. Poof, gone. What happened to her? It's one of ancient Egypt's greatest mysteries. Did she die? Did she fall from grace? Or, as some historians speculate, did she take on a new identity? There's a theory that she may have become a co-regent, ruling alongside Akhenaten under a new name, Smenkhare, before his death. This would explain her disappearance as a queen, because she had been elevated to the status of a king. Soon after, Akhenaten himself died, around 1336 BCE. His grand experiment died with him. His revolution, built on the force of his and Nefertiti's personalities, couldn't survive without them. The very next pharaoh, the young Tutankhamun, likely Akhenaten's son, was pressured by the old guard to reverse everything. The court moved back to Thebes. The old gods were reinstated, and the powerful priests of Amun-Ra reclaimed their authority. Akhetaten, the beautiful city of the sun, was abandoned to the desert sands. The reaction against them was swift and brutal. Later rulers sought to erase Akhenaten and Nefertiti from history completely. Their names were chiseled off monuments. Their statues were smashed, and they were referred to as the enemy in official records. For thousands of years, it was as if they never existed. Their love story, their revolution, their entire world was buried and forgotten. But you can't erase a story this powerful forever. In the 19th and 20th centuries, archaeologists rediscovered the ruins of Amarna, and in 1912, a German team unearthed a sculpture that would captivate the world, the iconic painted bust of Nefertiti. With her graceful neck and serene, powerful gaze, she was reborn. Through this incredible work of art and the patient work of historians deciphering the clues they left behind, the story of Nefertiti and Akhenaten was brought back into the light. Their revolution may have failed in the short term, but its legacy is profound. They introduced the world's first known state-sponsored monotheism, an idea that would re-emerge and change the course of human history. Their story is a timeless reminder of the power of conviction, the beauty of love, and the incredible impact people can have on the world, even if their dream is buried for millennia. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey back to ancient Egypt. If you enjoyed this story, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into history's most fascinating tales. See you next time.